Heidi ho, good neighbors, and welcome back to Terraria. In today's episode, I thought we would head into Lilith's Rest here and tackle the corruption equivalent, not the corruption, the crimson equivalent of the corruption boss. And in a future episode coming up soon, before we continue with progress in our main world by fighting the next boss there, I thought we would make an expert world and show off the first few bosses from there to, just give the viewers a feel for how things change in a higher difficulty. What the hell? Oh, that's right, we found this sky island. Yeah, yeah. Oh. That's the bombs I was remembering from last time, but oh well, we already got the demolition guy in our main home world there, so oh well. Anyway, because we've already got the corruption armor, we're probably vastly overgeared for classic difficulty Crimson boss, whose name is Brain of Cthulhu, not to be confused with Brian of Cthulhu, which I guess would be me if I served Cthulhu. I don't know. I saw my shadow or pet coming by and I thought it was an enemy for a second. That's why I just opened fire for a second there. Alright. So we found the Crimson Gullet. Let's head down and find some Crimson Hearts to smash, which will summon the Brain of Cthulhu. We might also get some pretty dope treasure. So, yeah, I'll put the... Man, I really gotta remember to start organizing my inventory off screen. Okay, that should about cover it. Now, with our new Nightmare Pickaxe that we got from the Corruption, due to having defeated the Corruption boss, and collecting his scales, we can now mine through the dark biome rocks, which we couldn't before with our regular copper pickaxe. Or with any tier of pickaxe below Nightmare. If we had gotten a gold pickaxe or iron pickaxe or whatever the case may have been, we wouldn't have been able to do anything with it. Alright, so the thing about this is, yes, it has a higher base damage than our mini shark here, because it's 15 versus 6, but as you'll see, yeah, it doesn't rapid fire like the mini shark does. So it hits harder, but it hits slower. So that's why you gotta be more mindful of DPS, or damage per second, as opposed to just the raw damage of a weapon. Because you'll see our DPS is higher with the mini shark, even though its stats are technically lower. At least in terms of damage. In terms of speed, it is way higher. So just be mindful of that. And we... Oh, that's just a regular worm. Not even a crimson worm. What? Does the Crimson have a worm equivalent? I actually don't recall. It might not. Ooh. And... Ooh, the Panic Necklace. That's... What does it do again? Oh yeah, it increases your movement speed after you take damage. I was thinking for a second it was an item that gives you increased invulnerability after you take damage. Like, whenever you take damage in this game, you're always invulnerable for like a few, like just a split second after the fact, so that you don't get like just totally stun locked or juggled. And there is an item in the game that increases that brief moment of invulnerability. And I think the Panic Necklace might be a crafting ingredient for it. What did we... Oh, the Crimson Heart. That is the Crimson equivalent. Whoa. That is the... buff. That is the Crimson equivalent to the Shadow Orb that we've got following us around. And oh my. I was not as well prepared for this as I thought I would be. Okay, we're out in the open now, and just don't get knocked back down into a tunnel, and we should be fine. As long as you've got plenty of space to move around. The Brain of Cthulhu is not that hard to deal with if you've got a mini shark. If you don't have the mini shark yet, or the decent armor and iron skin potions, well, God help you. So you can't actually attack the Brain proper until you get all of his, I believe they're called creepers. You're not a creeper. Well. I guess we'll not know the answer to that today. Damn it. Get out of the tunnel. Oh, this could be bad. This could be very, very bad. Now, if we were on expert mode, I would have absolutely built a proper arena for this. But... I don't remember the Brain having quite that much defense in classic mode, but we got him regardless. So this tissue sample here, that is the Crimson equivalent to the shadow scales we got from the Eater of Worlds. And what else did it drop, actually? I don't need tissue sample. Was it just that trophy, or...? Yeah, I guess so. Alright, well. We have now slain both equivalents of the Dark Biome boss, the Eater of Worlds for Corruption, and the Brain of Cthulhu for the Crimson. At least on Classic difficulty. Like I say, I am going to do Expert Mode bosses, just to show off their mechanics. I didn't start on an expert mode world from the get-go because, as I said in the beginning, I hadn't played this game for a while and thought I might be a bit rusty. But after we absolutely curb-stomped the Eye of Cthulhu, I got to thinking, like, maybe I'm not as rusty as I thought, because I can remember when I very first started playing this game, way back in 2011, Eye of Cthulhu was quite the harsh mistress to take down. Obviously, I'm a bit more experienced now, but, well, whatever. So, instead of just wandering around aimlessly, killing off non-boss mobs, let's exit the menu. And we're not going to do the expert mode right now. We're going to head back to Homeworld instead. And I suppose we should organize our inventories. Or at the very least, drop a bunch of stuff off. Oh, we've still got the Lantern Knight because we beat, Eater of Worlds. Right. You always get a Lantern Knight to boost your luck, the immediate night following the defeat of a boss or major event that is boss-like, such as the Goblin Army. That's another thing we need to do. Huh. Actually, I should have... It might be in that Skyware chest. Yes, the Tattered Cloth. With the Tattered Cloth, which I don't think we have enough. I think you need 10 Tattered Cloth. So it's only used to summon the Goblin Army. And indeed, you do need 10. Now, if you weren't paying attention to how we got that Tattered Cloth, the only way to get it is by going to the edge of a world close to a beach and looking for a somewhat rare enemy called the Goblin Scout. Excuse me, let me get a drink of water here. Excuse me, sorry. Terribly rude of me. Did not mean to burp. But, moving on. By the way, vertebrae and rotten chunks, depending on which dark biome your world has, they are used primarily to craft summon items for their respective bosses, so that you can just pop an item to summon, like we did with the suspicious-looking eye to summon the Eye of Cthulhu. That way you don't have to rely on shattering the dark orbs to summon the boss, because there's only so many of those per world, so if you just want to farm extensively, or, oh, a meteorite landed. Alright then. Anyway, if you just wanted to farm extensively, or if you just kept dying to it and wanted to finally beat it, that's there for you. I don't think we need this panic necklace, or this, don't need that. Definitely don't need that. I think we're more or less done with these. It's not hard to get more, even if we do need more, but I don't think we do. Same with these. And that's trash, and yeah, we should be good to go. Alright, so, two things. One, we're gonna head to the... I guess we've been to both beaches. But if we zoom in here, yeah, we've been down to the bottom of the ocean on the left, but for the right, yeah, we've only been somewhat through the ocean. And I really want to find a water chest for, oh, hey, free fallen star. Okay. A water chest, because we need water walking boots. Like, that's just non-negotiable. We need them for later in the game. And the only way you can get those is in a water chest, which you are most likely to find in either sky lakes, which are a pain to find, or the ocean. But it's a very, very rare drop. So we may need to do some world hopping, but if we can find them in our main world here, that would be phenomenal. Alternatively, if we can find a new cavern that we haven't explored as much, finding cobweb is still a high priority for us. Finding a spider biome would also be really, really good. Oh. Well. Whoop, there it is, indeed. Ah, okay. That's 36. Now, I can't quite fully recall, but I believe in the last episode I calculated that I would need 50 more question marks, so we're not far off. Not far off at all. Alright, so what we're gonna do now is just dig down and hope to break into another cavern. And what do you know, we broke into another cavern. Never mind. Just a little pocket. Oh well. Gonna need a glow stick down here. Now be sure to save as much of the sand and stone we're collecting right now as possible, so that we can do some more renovations on our base there up in the sky. So you might be wondering, since I have plans to show off expert mode, do I have any plans to do anything with master mode? The answer is yes, but that will be a separate series entirely with a completely fresh character, so that it is as much of a challenge for us as absolutely possible. I also have a... Wow, that is like a 1% drop. Alright then. That might be enough. Oh, the Hermes boots. What do I want to replace? I guess the aglet for now. For now. The Hermes boots are the first boot type accessory we will find. And as we find more boot type accessories, we can combine them into more and more extravagant type of boots until they all combine into one fantastic set of boots. For now, though, just having the Hermes boots is a great find. Where'd that cobweb come from? Oh well. Alright, so I think I might have enough silk now to make the last piece of Capricorn armor. Gonna make the boots invisible as well as the climbing thingets. Yeah. So we will process the silk. Ah, damn. Okay, I need 4 more. Well, at least it's much less daunting to find than 50 more. Yeah. You see that running effect we've got because of the Hermes boots? That is awesome. Hello. Okay, this is the bartender. I didn't think he could spawn until after the Goblin Army, but I guess it was after Corruption Boss, the Eater of Worlds. Okay, I'll take it. I guess I'll have to remember to prepare a room for him up at the Citadel. Oh, by the way, those, like, glittery flower-covered logs that we just ran by, do not destroy those, or if your world runs out of those glittery logs, which you cannot replace, you will never get fairies again. And fairies are useful if they appear underground, because they will lead you to treasures that you might not have seen otherwise. I mean, you can still find all the same treasure just the same. It's just that they will lead you to areas that may or may not have already been lit or discovered on the map or whatever, so just keep that in mind. Alright, so we haven't seen a goblin scout, but maybe we can find a water chest. And I'm going to use our... I almost hit the B key to open our inventory. World of Warcraft reflexes. Our hard inner tube here to skirt across the surface and then dive down to the lowest point and then work our way back towards the beach, which I feel is the most efficient route we can take as far as... Oh! We found them! Yes! Alright. Okay, let's... Oh, it was a squid. Ooh, black ink. Neat. Okay, we don't need a gold chest, so... I mean, I guess we could have held on to the gold chest to sell it, but... And back up, because now I've got the black ink. Okay, the dirt blocks, so we can definitely get rid of those. Awesome. So now we can replace our... Or not, because, yeah, if you break the surface of the water, you will sink right back down with the water walking boots. And don't ask me how we're wearing 2 pairs of boots at the same time, but yeah. So now we can just run right across the water. And... Aw, that's cute. Never seen that before. So now we can just run right across the surface of water and honey. If we find honey. But we can usually only find that in the jungle. And even though we've got the 2 pair of boots here, the Hermes and water walking boots, we can't combine them yet. We can combine them once the Hermes boots are in a later stage of the crafting tree. But for now, they've got to remain 2 separate accessories that are taking up 2 of our 5? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, 5. Because I couldn't remember how many accessory slots there are, because if you play in higher difficulties, you can unlock more accessory slots. Classic, you're limited to 5. If you play Master difficulty, which, as I said, we're not going to be touching in this series, it's going to be its own series, you start with 6, and whether it's Expert or Master, when you defeat the halfway point boss that, you know, the boss that marks the 2 halves of the game, when you defeat it, you get an item that unlocks another accessory slot. So for Expert mode, that gives you 6 slots, and for Master mode, that gives you 7 slots. Once we reach that point for Expert mode, I might shift focus to a different world entirely. Of course, that would mean having to rebuild the Citadel in another world, which, I'll have to think about that. I might even be able to find like a mod or third-party software or something that would let me convert this world as it is to a higher difficulty. I'm not sure. I would absolutely back up the world file no matter what before trying anything like that. But it is an option. Possibly. I'm not entirely sure how that would work. Oh well. A problem for another time. Speaking of which, I will see you another time, perhaps. Thanks for watching.